Hi guys, and today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to edit the CSS within your WordPress blog slash website and how to edit the CSS in your WordPress theme. So let's get started. So this is what we will be creating. It's not a big difference, but all it is just this green border at the bottom of each H2 heading, and as I go through the site, the border is on each heading that is a H2 heading. And if you don't know what H2 headings are, it's basically like you have a heading, like you have H1, H2, H3, H4. So H1 is the biggest of the headings, and then H2, H3 it gets smaller, 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 and smaller. Right, so there's two ways you can edit the CSS within your WordPress theme, and the first step is to directly input the change style within a custom CSS section within your WordPress theme, but not every theme might have this. So there's another way, by directly editing it through editor. So before we get started, this can only be done within WordPress.org. It can't be done within WordPress.com because it's not as flexible as WordPress.org. Yeah, so let's get started. So let me just take out that style so we can start over again. And if I reload this, it should be gone. Right, now it's gone. So we want to create a border bottom with this kind of green colour that I have within my logo. Right, so the way you edit the style within your website is you can do this within Chrome or Firefox. I'm not sure about any other browsers because I don't really use any other kind of browsers apart from Chrome or Firefox really. Right, so what we want to do is you want to right click the part that you want to edit and go down to inspect element, and it should bring up a bunch of code and it should already select what you've inspected, which is your H2 tag. And then on the right here you will see the styles that your H2 tag already has, which is the font size and the line height. And if you're not sure if this is what you've selected, then you can test it out by just flicking on and off the checkered ticks to see that you've that you're in the right part of your code. And I can see that I'm in the right part because the bit I want to edit is changing when I click off the ticks. Right, so we want to add in some new styles within this. And so our first style will be border bottom, and it's going to be 3 pixels thick. It's going to be solid, and it's going to have a color of, so we want the color to be that green color, and that color is 0FB044. Right, and press semicolon to end that style. And we also want some padding between our heading and the border because it's a bit tight there. So we want to create a new style, and that style will be padding bottom, and we want to give that 9 pixels of padding. Done. Right. And as you can see, that's made a bit of space between the header and the border. And the last thing we want to do is to give it a width of 50% for now. And as you can see, and if you're wondering why it affects all of the H2 headings, and you can tell whether it does or does not by, if you look up here above the H2 tag, you see media all, and this all part means that it will affect all of the H2 tags. So that's how you can check whether it will only affect, for example, the H2 headers on the home page, or whether it will affect the H2 headers on all of the pages on your WordPress blog. So now we have all the H2 styles in place and all correctly set up. We now want to implement this within your WordPress theme. So we want to highlight all of the styles that we created, and we want to copy that, because if you don't install it and you only leave it in the expect element, if you try to go to another page, as you can see, it goes back to what it was originally, so it won't work. So if we close the expect element and we go cross over to design theme, and not every theme may have this option, so this is why I'm showing you two different ways of editing your CSS and to overwrite your original default styles. So the first way will be within a section called custom CMS CSS, and this is where you can overwrite the default styles that is already implemented within your code. So within this section here, you just want to paste your code in here. Make sure it's all set up correctly, which it is. So that's basically the first way of doing it, and that's pretty much as simple as it gets. So you save your changes, and then if we refresh our website, as you can see, it is being implemented. And if we go to another page, then you can see it's made all of the H2 headings have a border bottom of green. So that's the first way of doing it. But say if you don't have this section within your theme and you're thinking, how else do I do it? Right, so the second way is you basically edit the default styles, and to access these default styles you want to go to appearance. In this section here, go to appearance and go down to editor. So once you're in this part, you want to go all the way down to the bottom to styles and click style sheet. So once this is selected, now you have the task of finding that H2 header. But this is made pretty simple by doing a simple little command, which on Mac it's Command C, but within PC it's probably Control C, I'm not really sure. But then this should bring up small little search box in a corner, and you just want to type in what you want to edit. So we want to edit H2 and H2 tags. So then type in H2 and press select, and then it should bring up, it should highlight everything with it that is called H2. And right here we have our H2 style. So then you want to highlight that and simply place in our copied styles that we've done within our website and within inspect element. So then once you've pasted that in, bear in mind you should always copy the original just in case something goes wrong and you struggle to get it back to its original state. So make sure you always have a copy of the original before you go changing it. So once you've done this, you want to update the file, and then as you can see, it's still there. So that's the tutorial for today, guys, and I will see you tomorrow or next week or next month.